regardless of the First Amendment, will have the 10 Commandments displayed in every classroom. Football is way more team-based than basketball. But they've fallen so far from the empathetic timeline that they've fallen off from to only look at things as content, as views. They don't want the stop product to eventually be moved to another church and swept under the rug. But wait, did I say church? Whenever I turn 30, if I don't see a fucking Star Fox game, I'm rioting in the streets.
Sometimes I feel like some that's such a feat. Yeah. To do it with the feet. I shoot and skate, blood I bled. All the blood I'm breaking bread. Through a flood and now I'm dead.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris, a.k.a. Broke, a.k.a. the host of the Brokeknocklife podcast, and we are here for another episode, a solo episode this time. I'm a little more prepared than my last two solo episodes. Got a little bit more content for you guys. But let's go ahead and get this show started. Episode 136 is today, March 30th. It is 1 p.m. And we have a bunch of stuff for y'all. A bunch of Louisiana news, a Harry Mack video, some controversial stuff going on in our state right now. Some video game news, some marathon news, all of this shit. So let's go ahead and get started with the Harry Mack segment. And I'm bringing this video back. This is a video that my fans know dear and near to their heart, near and dear to their heart. It is the Harry Mack Prom special. I play this video because I intend on releasing this episode 136 on the 6th year of doing this podcast. I started 2020, April 4th or 8th or 6th or something like that. I was just bored in my room during the lockdown, during the pandemic, and I needed to create stuff. So previously I was watching a bunch of Howard Stern, and I was just fascinated with his setup, his desk, all the audio inputs, the video channels, like him doing that in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, early 2010s, and whatever the show is now, whatever. And I was just always fascinated by it. So I decided to create that creative outlet for me and do this shit for real. And I 6 years in doing this, I finally feel... I feel like this every time I do an episode, but this one is really sticking with me because I feel like I've actually, I'm making some headway with editing and making sure this shit looks right. We are near 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and, it's taken me 6 years to almost get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and, I'm not going to stop. And I attribute it to all of the different topics and the different positions this podcast has taken. And this year I want to focus, and the coming years, I want to really focus on like 3 main things. So my content isn't like spread out to where, it's too spread out right now. So the 3 things, as you guess, I'm from Louisiana, so Louisiana news, mental health, which ties into the running and the marathon running, and then video game news, like nerdy shit. Not really gonna spread to anything else other than that. I know that encapsulates a lot of different material within those 3 categories. But that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the show. Episode 136 of the Brokeknocklife podcast, and we will the Mag Attack Bag and Mag Attack with Sun-Soaked Tides SoundCloud. I don't even have my headphones. I'm used to having my headphones on because I got JP here, but he's not here today. So I can finally hear what I sound like, and it's a little bit too loud. And while we're doing that, while we listen to this, I just want to thank you all for listening and watching over these past 6 years. It means a lot. It really does. And to all the upcoming guests, to all of the potential people that I will meet down the road, I hope you treat this place as you know, as home, as like you feel like you can talk with me and JP, and really, you know, I meticulously pick my guests to share things that I'm interested in, that they're interested in, they're passionate in, because I love hearing and seeing the passion exuding from different people in different lines of work and different art styles, different jobs, all that stuff. So, Broke Knock Life podcast is for the people. It's for the kids. Not really for the kids. I'm just going off of Wu-Tang. Let's go ahead and get started with the Harry Mack, the Gramps Basement, which only includes the Harry Mack video for now, where we only include the cringe for specific people. So whenever that happens, y'all will know. So circling back around to Howard Stern, this is where that soundbite came from, Spell Red, by the infamous, the dubious, the theatrical Beetlejuice. And not the Beetlejuice from the movies, the actual Beetlejuice, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get on to the Harry Mack prom special that everybody loves, and let's spell red.
Spell red.
Oh, God.
Red. L-S-T-E-R.
All right, we are now officially in the Harry Mack stage. Now let's go ahead and get on with the video. Let's rock out with a cock out, and let's go.
Can I do a freestyle for you guys? Somebody, let me get a random word.
All right, hold on.
Most creative word you can think of.
Exquisite.
Exquisite. Jamaica. One more. Maserati. Who said that?
Hey, Daddy.
Daddy? Yeah. Exquisite.
So great, I swear.
Jamaica, Maserati, Daddy, and Stank. Yeah. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah. Okay. Turn me up. Okay. Turn me up. Yeah. Okay. Y'all ready for prom?
Yeah. This beat is so good. Like, it's not just because it's hype.
Rappers be talking, but I really live it. Moves that I'm making, y'all know they deliberate. Every time that I rhyme, got the whole game straight tipping. Y'all know that my lyrics exquisite. Yeah. Y'all know my shit is too clever. When I be rapping, I'm lasting forever. Born of the beat, it be tougher than leather. I come with exquisite lyrics they can't measure. I'm making it happen. Serving my lyrics right by the ounce. Every time that I rhyme in the session, y'all know that I'm making them bounce. Oh shit, y'all know I'm lit up like reefer. Going so hard, I be breaking my speaker. Every time that I rhyme, I be lifting you higher. This shit that I'm spitting is fire. Coming on the top, and I never been a faker. Every time I spit, I'm precise like a laser. Shock the whole entire game like a taser. Got fans that span from DC to Jamaica. I'ma blow your mind with a heart free. Matter of fact, man, I got a lot of fans in Jamaica. Y'all got me feeling like Bob Marley. Hey, stack off the top of the dome. Every time I'm spitting, I get locked in the zone. Y'all know I'm going in hard. I reach in your phone, steal your Pokemon card. I'm getting too busy. When I be spitting, they hits and they dizzy. Pop up in DC, they wonder who is he. Yeah, H-Mack shining hella bright in this. I'm tight in this. I'm always reciting this off the tip of this. The way that I be spitting the lyrics is too ridiculous. I'm making it happen. Crazy when rapping, I'm taking the action. Ain't never slacking, a lot of lyrics I'm packing. Yeah, I break it down and y'all know I'm straight blazing. Dude back here like, yo, he's amazing. Blow your mind with the raw free. I can tell this the first time you saw me. H-Mack, man, we represent hip-hop. These ain't anybody watching my vids on TikTok. I think you're on my level, yo, hardly. I'ma get you twisted just like the Bacardi. H-Mack, man, I got you in the rage. Don't owe for that, you under drinking age. H-Mack, I wanna call you out. I keep it real, I ain't never on the faulty route. Killing it, doing it gladly. All of these rappers be calling me daddy. Y'all know I slaughter a child. That's cause I follow this style. I be the greatest, I know that they hate this, they don't even get it. I said I'm exquisite, my moves are deliberate, I'm breaking it down. Come off the top with the craziest sound. Lyrics that I kick top rank. And we get a whole lot of bank. Y'all know I told you I'm about to lead a whole track stank, cause my lyrics too stank. Coming on kids. We're gonna freestyle, yo, I got this. Yeah, I'm about to make them go crazy. Oh shit, this one is for the ladies. Y'all know we back online. Y'all know we stay on the grind. Lyrics that we kick off top to the vine. We got exquisite, we got Jamaica, and we got daddy, and we got stank. My flow is godly, leave the track body. I'm way too fancy, I need Maserati. I got a flinching. I be revving up my Maserati engine, and I be known for ill flowing. He's like, my God, this dude is still going. These other rappers too cute. Shot my man in the bow tie in the blue suit. Yeah, y'all know I'm rattling the speakers. Hold up, wait a minute, dude is rocking sneakers. Thanks, man. Y'all know these rappers can't test me. Thanks for the fans, cause they bless me. Y'all know I'm ready to cardiac arrest beats. My man pulled up in the SBs. He's got the Nikes, he's rocking the dunks. Live off the top, I be bringing the funk. I got the lyrics, that shit that you want when it comes to the rounds. I don't never get punked. Yeah, hey, go to Pickleball high. Hey, Mack getting busy in the spot. Y'all know we represent live and hip hop. Yo, earlier I made this pick a drop. I'ma drop these bars, drop these rhymes. I got the shit that they cannot avoid. Y'all know this whole fucking track got destroyed. Girls and the boys, make some motherfucking noise.
Look at that crowd, dog. Y'all vlogging it, I love that shit.
Much love, man. Appreciate y'all.
Such a great video.
Much love, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate
Such
you,
a
bro.
great video.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
This is the first time I'm using this iPad as a teleprompter, and I'm gonna be looking off to the left a little bit. So I got a lot of things to cover. So let's get into the Louisiana news. Welcome to the news with your host with the most, Chris, aka Broke. March 30th. What is it? Almost 2 p.m. And got a bunch of topics. So let's go ahead and read the top. Let's read the topics, and then let's dive a little bit into it. Okay. So we got the Blue Bayou Waterpark coming back. We got Clavicular mag dumping into a Gator. We have we got some shrimp news. We got 10 Commandments in the schools, and then we got a new Pickleball kingdom coming to Walker, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about the Saints. So let's go ahead. Let's cross this shit off. Let's get right into it. So Blue Bayou. I don't know how many of y'all visited as a kid, but I went a handful of times. It's always been like very dirty and not kept up. And we kind of stopped going eventually because, one, it was like always way too crowded. Two, the wave pool was like, I don't know if y'all have ever seen that South Park episode with the piss in the wave pool. That's Blue Bayou. That is an episode about Blue Bayou in Louisiana, and I think they're trying to get rid of that stigma. And I think since after the pandemic, after 2020. It just slowly declined. I mean, Dixie Landin is literally not opening anymore. Those two were parent companies with each other, and they indefinitely said they are not reopening due to low attendance. But Blue Bayou is. It was a new leaseholder holds it. I forgot the name. But management is working on improvements to the park, including refurbishing the buildings in the park, installing internet, which this is the first time. Will supposedly have free internet for paying admission holders. Installing internet in the park for the first time in its history, and providing several free amenities to customers, including free inner tubes and life jackets. Also, unlimited fountain drinks for guests. I don't know any place that does that. So I'm wondering what the limitations are for this, if they're going to just do it for a grand opening like weekend. But dude, it says, like, I mean, I went on the WBRZ article and I read like two other articles and they both say the same thing. Unlimited fountain drinks for all guests. The park will also have new smart lockers, which will be accessed by a personal passcode or facial ID, which is pretty dope rather than a key. So they have new leaseholders. Dixie Landin is permanently closed. I mean, a lot of people can say what they want, but the ultimate reason why it shut down, I don't think the location is the best location for a Blue Bayou or a water park in general, or an amusement park. It's very crowded. Like, it's like right next to a very busy road, very busy intersection. And, you know, I'm not trying to be a pessimist here or anything, but
It's the location. And just the fact that it was just way too crowded. The people didn't really seem like they wanted to work there. I mean, really, who does? But they're hiring. They're hiring a new manager right now. They got new staff, and they are cleaning the whole thing after a year and a half of being shut down. So there's high hopes, I guess. High hopes. Before we get into our next topic, that's it for the Blue Bayou stuff. Let me know if y'all will be attending. I'm gonna put the prices up here. So this is for single day admission, and then this is for these are all early rates. So I don't know when the early date cuts off, but here's the single day, and then here is the weekend passes or the season passes or what have you. So that's it for the Blue Bayou talk. We're going to touch on something that I didn't have in the notes, but I wanted to cover this before I cover the shrimp topic. And that is, I don't know if y'all have heard or seen or my fan base cares or anybody should care about this guy, Clavicular. He is a kick streamer. He's a looks maxing icon. He has introduced new terms into Gen Z's vocabulary or Gen Alpha or whatever, and looks maxing is one of them. I mean, y'all can go look up that definition. It's very tiresome to try and wrap my head around someone who is so self-centered, someone who is such a, I don't want to say pussy, but such a misogynistic freak that, you know, I just don't really want to talk about it besides this one incident that really just, God, like I look at whenever his videos come across my TikTok page, like it's always, I guess I'm giving him views by doing this, but it just, it makes me speechless, like how he talks to people. I mean, let alone women. I mean, we all know how he talks to women, but just his whole demeanor and his like woe is me attitude. Like he'll say some shit and he'll be like, oh, I have autism, or oh, I do this or I do that. That doesn't give you a reason to be a dick, you know? Anyway, so the main subject we want to cover is Clavicular, and I don't know if y'all have seen this video circling around online. I hope it circles around even more after I post this video, because he actually needs attention, because he needs to get reprimanded for what he did. So in the video, he's with a bunch of people in the Everglades or wherever the hell he is. And dude, they're staring at a dead gator, right? And he just unloads a mag, like rapid fire. By the way, he's not looking while he's shooting this gun, which is insane. And it just goes to more of a testament of how unsafe and how mindless certain streamers, especially this streamer, is to focusing on content. He looks at this as, oh, this is a boat ride with some people with some guns. What will get views is if I just pull up and then randomly just clip dump into this gator. You know, that's all they're thinking. Not making any type of excuse, but they've fallen so far from the empathetic timeline that they've fallen off from to only look at things as content, as views. It's so disheartening, and it's very apparent with all of these. By the way, Clavicular ran over somebody like last year. And then he has this case coming upon him where he literally mag dumps into a gator. Like it's insane. Yeah, he's closing his eyes. I mean, I'll speak for everyone in saying he needs a ban from that Kick platform and any other streaming place, and he needs to be arrested, dude. And what he says at the end, or not at the end, one of the clips that I saw of him trying to justify what the hell he did, he's like, dude, if the camera wasn't rolling, y'all would do the same thing. Bro, me and JP have been on the boat. JP's been dozens, not dozens, hundreds, maybe thousands of times in the past year. And I don't know if that thought will ever cross my mind. Like, we've come across a dead alligator snapping turtle, a dead paddlefish, and a bunch of other dead stuff, and nowhere in my mind I'm like, yo, JP, give me that gun. Let's just fucking fire into this dead animal just for the fuck of it. The excuse that you would do it if the camera wasn't rolling, speak for yourself, you misogynistic, sociopathic pussy. It's whenever it gets to animals, that's going to lead to something else. Like, he needs to be corrected before this goes any further. And the track that he's on right now, running over somebody, a battery, assault, and now he's dumping a whole mag into this gator with all of his buddies, just laughing at it, man. Anyway, now I'm all worked up. Let's talk about the shrimp trade. So y'all go check that video out. I can't show it on here because it's gonna get banned. That's how bad it is. And anyway, imported shrimp. So we talked about this in the last episode, and we covered this in a few episodes before. Louisiana has had an issue. So 94%, I don't know if this is in just Louisiana or if this is countrywide. I read it in the same WBRZ article that I got this information from to make this report. 94% of the stuff that we use is imported, which is absolutely insane, asinine, any of those adjectives to me. We have such a humble workforce whenever it comes to fishing, whenever it comes to shrimping, catfishing, everything, and then we're gonna rely on what was the term called? We're gonna rely on commingling and mislabeling imported stuff just because it's a little bit cheaper to come over here. I'm assuming that's why people are doing it. It's not because of the taste, because we all know. Everybody knows that we have the best tasting seafood in the entire world. And this is good news. So 3 bills have passed. So, okay. A Louisiana House committee approved 2 bills Thursday that would give more power to the State Department of Agriculture and Forestry to investigate and seize unlawful seafood from wholesalers and retailers. It's good looks. It's good looks, y'all. State Representative Jessica Demario is sponsoring House Bill 121 and 725. Both were passed and sent on its way with no opposition, literally none. I think one was 10-0 and one was 11 or 12-0. So Bill 725 would require food retailers to retain all records of seafood purchases for at least 6 months and keep them available for state inspection. Bill 121 would empower the agriculture commissioner to seize, hold, or destroy any seafood found to be in violation of that state law. And then this is a separate bill that was passed a little bit after, and this is Bill 857. It would fine people who commingle the imported with the domestic. So what people are doing, they'll get it seized, right? And then it's just a stoppage. So before these bills are passed, it was just a stoppage. Now, these bills are going to be implemented, so it's not just a stoppage. It's a complete seizure of that stuff that did not pass the domestic inspection. So under the current law, the commissioner can issue a stop order that prevents the product from being sold, right? Dominguez's proposal would let the commissioner take and dispose of the illegal seafood. So basically, they don't want the stop product to eventually be moved to another church and swept under the rug. But wait, did I say church? I mean retail establishment. You know the you know why I got that confused, right? Anyway, I mean retail establishment. So that brings us to our next topic, the 10 Commandments in the schools. So this recently came to light, and if you know me, you know my stance on this already, but I'm just going to say it very plain and clear. I don't support this in any way whatsoever. I don't agree with it. I think it's insane that this was passed, because I thought growing up and somewhat listening in schools, that there was a separation of church and state. Now, I know they brought it federal. Now, private schools, they have their own shit. They do what they want. I completely, like, if you go to a Catholic private school, which I went to, the 10 Commandments are going to be in there, But public, magnet, all of those other schools, why? Why can't we? Okay, let me back up. So basically, all schools in Livingston Parish, regardless of the First Amendment, will have the 10 Commandments displayed in every classroom. And they aren't even going to pay for it. Stay with me. The law also requires the posters of the 10 Commandments to be a specific size, I think 11 by 17. No, 11 by 14. It requires the posters to be donated or funded by third parties so that there's no financial obligation by the school boards to provide them. So if they're implementing all of these rules, the least they can do is pay for it out of their own fucking greedy pockets. It makes absolutely no sense. Why can't we just put up 10 values that are sort of like the 10 Commandments, because the 10 Commandments are values. It's backed by religion. There's a whole religious aspect to it. Why can't we just have 10 values and then let the kids decide who and what they want to believe instead of having a certain religion imposed on them? That's about it. Let kids have an unbiased opinion. Let kids think what they want. Because I was brought up only Catholic, only Catholic, only Catholic. Anything else, you're going to hell. Anything else, you're going to hell. And thank God I broke out of that, but I really wish schools would, maybe they can have a religion class, but it's not just one religion. Maybe it's a religion class that teaches them about all of the different religions. Like, have 5 different religions in there, and then have a class on what this one means, what that one means, what that one means. And not be like, oh, by the way, if you believe in this, you're going to hell. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, that's it with that. Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the description down below and the comments down below, because I've really been meaning to talk about this. It's just it's such a slippery topic, but it's something that I feel very passionate about. Believe who you want to believe. Do all that, go about your merry way. Anyway, that brings us to a completely unrelated subject. So we have where I live in Walker, and there has been, I forgot what it first was. It had to have been a shopping center. And then it turned into some other place, and then not a mattress firm, a furniture place. People who live in Walker, it's right across from Walmart. It's like very close to the interstate. And no place has been able to survive for more than like a year. Having a lot of indigestion. Forgive me. So it used to be a furniture store. No place really survives in that area. And it's so the first pickleball place opened in 2022 in Arizona. And I just don't think, I think it's a bubble. I think pickleball is a bubble, and it's catering more so to the older crowd. But although Walker is more older, it's just, I don't really think, you know what would work way better in that little area? A farmer's market. A farmer's market would kill in that area. Because in Denham, about 15 minutes away, we got a fresh produce stand. That's been there like fucking forever. Make that, or split it down the middle, make like a mini shopping mall. Anything would do better. I mean, bro, the pickleball place looks nice. It looks very nice. I'm sure people have fun. It's another sport that people have to get into, and not most people right now with all of these. With all the inflation and the rising costs, they're not going to go out and buy new paddle boards, new pickleball boards, or whatever. And I just don't think it's viable for the next 2 to 3 years. I'll give it 3 years. and I just haven't seen the attendance. Anyway, this is what the pickleball place looks like. maybe I shouldn't be talking too much shit, but it looks really nice. It looks really nice, and I plan on going there at some point in my life before it closes down in 3 years. With all of that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this news segment with a Saints update. I just wanted to read all of the people that we let go this offseason and that we've signed on, because I believe since Drew left and we were stuck in whatever the fuck we were stuck in, this is the first time that I've seen some actual moves. Now, I hate that Demario Davis left, but on the other hand, I also know that he's a veteran and his years are dwindling. You know, he maybe has 2 more good years in him if he stays healthy, which he does stay healthy a lot. It's just we've had him for a very long time, and it's time to let him go. It's time to free up that cap space. We need a whole new roster. We need everybody. Last year, the last 4 games, I really saw an uptick on our playmaking, an uptick on Shaw. Fucking shutting that thing around, that motherfucker. So much better than Rat Pack, man. I don't know what y'all were talking about whenever y'all thought Rat Pack deserved a spot over Shaw. But y'all were fucking wrong. Y'all were also wrong about Derek Carr. I was with him for those first 2 games, man. I was with him for those first 2 games. We all know that felt like the damn Super Bowl to us. And after that, man, like his attitude, his decision-making, not to mention whenever he got hurt, if I'm not mistaken, he was trying to get a first down. He was so far away from the first down, and he just threw his body up in the air and got fucking demolished. We don't need people that do that, man. We need Shaw staying in the pocket, being comfortable, and slinging that motherfucker. So, what's going on with the Saints? Demario Davis is gone. Cam Jordan is up in the air. We have a new backup QB. So this is everybody that we signed. Travis Etienne, running back. David Edwards, guard. Carden Ellis, linebacker. Noah Fant, tight end. We need a tight end because we just let Foster Moreau, which he is such a 50-50. Not even a 50-50, like a 60-40 in performance. 60 not being on the good side. Caden Ellis, Noah Fant, Ryan Wright, punter, signed a 4-year deal from the Vikings to take over punting duties. Zach Wilson is our backup. I saw that headline, and I'm like, if you bench Shaw after those 4 games, I'm not paying these season tickets, and I'm leaving the Saints. This is our only glimpse of hope that we have. And I wouldn't call him a veteran quarterback to sit while he's like teaching Shaw how to do shit. But he's definitely, I don't think he's as bad as people say that he is. I just think that he's had really shitty teams that he's been a part of. He looks pretty good in the pocket, and he's pretty accurate. So Zach Wilson, Ty Chandler, so we've signed 2 running backs. Chris Rumpf, defensive end. Dylan Redunce, O-line. Terrell Burgess, safety, and a bunch of these are like 1 and 2-year deals. Terrell Burgess, John Ridgway, and Ugo Amadi, re-signing him. So who we lost, and I just want to touch on what I just said. So we've been needing O-line for fucking ever. And it looks like we're finally getting a little bit of that. So who we let go? Obviously, Demario Davis. Alante Taylor, he's going to the Tennessee Titans. Kai Kroger, mediocre punter. Mediocre. Maybe less than that. That's why he's getting traded to Texans. Foster Moreau, expected to sign elsewhere. And Jack Stoll, tight end. So we let go 2 tight ends. Luke Fortner, center, and Will Harris, safety. And what are we doing with Kamara? He has gone on record saying if he was traded anywhere, he would rather retire than get traded. Now, it's a different story with Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan said he has had that same position that Kamara had, but this year he's had a little difference in opinion, meaning he's willing to sign elsewhere. A lot of people are speculating the Chiefs, and, after seeing Shaheed go out and win that shit, I was so happy for him, man, because we all know that we wouldn't have won a championship. we don't have that in our DNA in the next 2-3 years, dog. So even though people were calling him like Kevin Durant or shit like that, it's different when it comes to football. Football is way more team based than basketball. And, shout out to him. Like, he made some incredible plays. He's, like, one of the fastest players ever, and we just never utilized him. And this is another topic. I really don't think we should be restructuring Chris Olave's deal or anything after his 1,000-yard season. Like, his 1,000-yard season looked like he was struggling on, like, every catch. After those concussions, he's just not consistent. Prove me the fuck wrong in the next 2 to 3 years, but he's not a consistent wide receiver one. We need a wide receiver one. We need anybody that'll catch what Shaw's throwing to him, man. Whether that be completely revamping our offense, which we did in the last 4 games, or so it seemed. We need to start slinging that motherfucker, man. Remember the Marcus Colston and the Devery Henderson days? Bro. We got a young quarterback. Like, we can sling that bitch down the field. Anyway, so what's up with Kamara? Where is he going? Where is Cam Jordan going? Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments on whether or not we did the right moves, the wrong moves. I think this year has been the best restructuring of this New Orleans Saints team since Breeze left. We're going to switch gears, and this is now the game entertainment news. So I'm having Scotty back on the show. This will be late April, so it'll come out like early May. I got some other people that are in the works of coming on this month, and we're going to talk about Star Wars, me and Scotty. He came out with that book the midichlorian book that we talked about in the 5-year anniversary episode. Or no, that wasn't the 5-year anniversary. That was like 2 episodes after that, or before, whatever. Go check out that episode. Link in the bio, or I'll put it somewhere on the screen. But a lot of people were fucking with our Battlefront talk. So I just wanted to briefly give y'all my top 3 Star Wars games, past, present, future, whatever. So it's going to be the original Star Wars Battlefront 2. The amount of hours I put into that game is just unbelievable. The Mos Eisley assault, the Ewoks versus the Stormtroopers, the hunt mode, the Geonosians versus the clone troopers, all of that shit, man. Like, that was such a part of my childhood, like turning on that PS2 and just trying to rank up, trying to rank up in the Battlefront 2 ranking system, and playing with my cousin, the Mos Eisley assault, him being Jango, me being Boba, or vice versa, and we're just going on the rooftops, just sniping people. It was such a cool childhood memory that I have. Shout out my cousin. So number 2 is a tie between these 2 games. It's Knights of the Old Republic 1 and Knights of the Old Republic 2. I love both of them. I'll play both of them to the ends of the earth, no matter how long they stay up and like updated and available to play on any type of console. So KOTOR 1, KOTOR 2, and number 3, honorable mention. I haven't finished this game. I got about halfway through it, and it has the best lightsaber mechanics, clashes, like sound effects, special effects, just how it moves. Jedi Academy has some of the best shit. See, now I'm gonna go play it whenever I get off of this and edit this episode. But yeah, it's Jedi Academy. Y'all go check that out and go fuck shit up. If y'all know me, I love Super Smash Bros. I love Nintendo. Not really a hardcore Nintendo fan, but I do welcome it. I do love some specific Nintendo releases. And since 2016 Wii U, we have yet to get any type of Star Fox showing up anywhere, whether it be a teaser, whether it be someone just talking out of their ass that got like defected from Nintendo. Nothing until this movie, until the Super Mario Galaxy movie comes out, and they recently released Star Fox as being in the fucking movie. Now I'm going to watch it. Now I'm going to fucking watch it. So now I'm going to go see it. Glen Powell is voice acting for Star Fox, which I think is he actually, like, I don't know if this sounds weird or not, but he looks like Star Fox. You know how those voice actors, they look like their character? For instance, Frankie, his original voice actor, uncanny resemblance. Absolutely uncanny resemblance. He just looks and sounds like Star Fox to me, and I'm so glad that they are bringing him into this movie. Yeah, we haven't had a game since 2016 on the Wii U. Now, okay, so this is unconfirmed by I don't even know who this was. This is just like a very well-popular, unconfirmed source that everybody is clinging to right now. And I'm going to cling to it because I love being hopeful on games that I really enjoy. You know what I mean? So the unconfirmed leaker said, quote, "A classic Star Fox is coming in June." My birthday, by the way. June 1st is my birthday. So whenever I turn 30, if I don't see a fucking Star Fox game, I'm rioting in the streets. The Adventure one is still coming, but not in 2026. So he's saying a classic Star Fox, maybe a remake of Star Fox 64, which would be fucking insane. And then an Adventure one, I think it's called Star Fox Adventures on GameCube or something like that I'm trying to get my hands on and play for the first time, is coming, but not in 2026. Super Metroid is also close, along with the new Switch Sports, a Wario Land title, possibly 2027, and an Ocarina of Time remake for this year. I could do with the Ocarina of Time, like, we've remade that so many times. Remember when the 3DS came out and we remade it for the 3DS? I think that's enough. Like, let the game be, you know? Ocarina of Time remake for this year. And I would love to also see 3D Mario this year, but I fear 2027 is the year to go. So let me know what y'all think about that. For our last bit of news, I wanted to cover the One Piece live action. So I have a One Piece live action. Do we like it? Do we not like it? I fucked with the first season so hard. Even though Arlong does not show up nearly that early, I understand what they're doing with the plot. There's 1,000+ episodes. It's still ongoing. The live action is just trying to condense that in a way that makes it production ready and script ready to be able to be consumed by people who are not going to want to sit through 1,000 episodes or 1,000,000 seasons. Because, you know, if we were to go season by season for 1,000 episodes and include everything chronologically, the show is not going to last. Like, there is already, I think, One Piece is top 3 and most expensive Netflix budgets ever. So, you know, Oda's going to run out of money at some point. Whenever the show ends, blah, blah, blah. I just don't think they're going to get very far with it. They might get up to Marineford and cover the whole Ace shit, and maybe if the show is still ramping up by that time, they'll do a few more. I don't really see them, because, you know, as the show goes on, you know, it started from Luffy just doing Gum Pistol and then very, very easily being able to animate a stretchy thing going across the screen. And then if you look at the King versus Zoro fight in Wano, how are we gonna animate that? You know what I mean? Just kill it whenever before the time skip. Just do that, and then we'll be good. We'll be good. I just don't want it to, because it's going so good right now, I don't want them to bite off more than they can chew. So my bar is already set low due to live action adaptations being horrible in the past. Dragon Ball, Avatar. Coming from the fact I'm a huge fanboy, I do love it, but also critiquing the hell out of it at the same time. So whenever Bartolomeo showed up in Logtown, I was like, hold up. That can't be him. That has to be some other fucking side character or some random person in the crowd. And then I waited till the episode finished, and I'm like, was that actually him? And then I forgot that in the manga, he is mentioned as to seeing Luffy be executed and then being saved by the lightning or whatever the fuck saved him. And that's whenever his fanboy-dom got started. So him showing up and having a little bit of discourse with Nami, I fucked with that. I would have drawn the line if he... See, I don't even know if he had his devil fruit at that time. Anyway, if he had his devil fruit at that time, it would have pissed me off if he did the barrier fruit, because that is such an important reveal in the Coliseum in Dressrosa. Whenever King does that punch, and then everybody's like, oh, dude, everybody's out of the ring. And then he's just there doing that shit, like taking a piss. That is such an awesome first appearance of this character. Anyway, that kind of threw me off, but I understand it because it's actually in the manga that he showed up. So I'm going to list 3 dope things, I think, and then 3 nope things about Season 2. So the 3 dope things. Story is being told surprisingly well considering the 1,000 ongoing chapters. I kind of covered that. CGI and special effects are pleasing to the eye. I really loved what they did with Chopper. Chopper's backstory really did hit. The guy, the girl doctor, like the casting choices for them were phenomenal. I loved both of them. So, nope. As I said, for the most part, I still can't get... Okay, casting choices. Speaking of that, I can't get behind Smoker and I can't get behind Dragon. Now, Dragon just looks a little too goofy for me. Now, I know it's One Piece and everybody's fucking goofy, blah, blah, blah. And Smoker, he's got the cigars. Like, I love the ability. I love the special effects. It doesn't look horrible. It's just his face. Like, he needs the gruff. Like, he reminds me of some, like, 5-foot dude who's trying to compensate for his wiener size that drives, like, a very lifted truck, who goes to the gym, skips leg day, does only chest and arms, and is constantly insecure about everything. Like, he just looks like a short, small wiener hothead to me. And Smoker wasn't really that. I am glad that they showed him picking up that ice cream for that kid. You need that in the storytelling. You need that shit, because that shows people that the Navy isn't just about, like, stopping pirates. There's some good to them. There's some morals to them. There's some empathy to them. You know what I mean? Wapol sucked. I hated him in the anime, the manga, and maybe that's why I hate him in the live action. It was just so boring to me. I really didn't give a fuck about Wapol. It felt very all over the place and chaotic. Maybe that's attributing to me not liking Wapol. And then Sanji doesn't have the twirly eyebrows. Just make something. I love the casting of Sanji. I just, he needs to be smoking his cigarette a little bit more. He needs the twirly eyebrows, because he calls Zoro Mosshead, but why is Sanji not twirly eyebrow, So that will conclude all of the news and all the blah, blah, blah. So what I'm going to end the podcast with, on every podcast, I'm going to try to remember this, is a mental health segment. So I wanted to go through basically what I've been doing. These past few months have been really, really hard on me. It's taken me a lot to get this thing back up and going and finding the motivation to do these podcasts again, which we're back. Don't fucking worry. We're back. It's simple. It's simple, but it's not simple. It's running. So back in November-ish, me and my boy King, we were just like, I forgot how the conversation came. I was already running a little bit, but I mentioned to him, I was like, yo, dude, do you want to run together and train for a marathon next year? And he's like, bet. I was like, okay. And we've actually been sticking with it. Since November, I've been training, and mind you, I hated long distance for the longest time. And I did track in early high school, all through junior high, middle school, all that stuff, and I love sprinting. I love the hurdles, and I always shied away from long distance because it was just so hard. And it is hard until you gradually do it every day or every other day or whenever the hell you want to run. Started marathon training late last year and have been consistently running with my boy King since. So far, we've done the Louisiana Marathon 5K. That was late January of this year. Yeah, this year, Jesus. And we already signed up for the marathon, 26 fucking miles, January 27th of next year. So in hopes of me, which I'm going to do this, in hopes of me training to be able to run 26 miles, I'm going to try to get around 3 hours, okay? That's my goal. Sub 3, perfect. But around 3-ish, I'll be fine. So we've conquered the 5K, which I have both of my medals right here. We conquered the 5K right here. I love that shit. Heavy as fuck. Love it. I was very emotional at the end. My parents came out and supported me. It was just, it's amazing to cross that finish line after giving it your all. And that's what I focus on whenever I run, giving it my all. We did the 5K, and then now, about 9 days ago, 2 weekends ago, we did the Comete River Run, which was 5 miles, and it's through the Comete conservation area, the Comete Park, and one of their trails. I've never been there, but, I didn't walk the trail. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have walked the trail like a day before or whatever. But, I wasn't really expecting that. I was expecting to run on a trail. It couldn't be so bad. The hardest run, the hardest exercise I've ever done in my life. Because my thought process is if I slow down or walk, I can't compute it in my brain as the race being complete. Because that means I didn't give it my all. And there was one point where I almost slowed down to where I was walking. And that's just, I'm going to show a picture up here of the terrain and the path that I used, that Strava implemented. Not implemented, that Strava, I'm starving right now, that Strava GPS coordinated. But see all those curves and all that shit? There was so much incline. There's so much small steps to go up, and then the amount of roots, big tree roots, that you would have to pace yourself to not stutter step and lose your average pace of running. You know what I mean? And just the fact that there was so many inclines and so many twists and turns, it murdered me, dude. It murdered me. But we finished it, and we got this medal. The Comete River Run. It's wood. It's like burnt off. It's pretty nice. And although we didn't have to. They had food in transit on the way as we were finishing. I ended up staying an hour and 30 minutes after the race ended to get the worst burgers that I have ever had. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic. Top 3 worst burgers I've ever had in my life. They were like back in middle school and junior high, we used to have, burger days where the lunch ladies would serve us burgers. They tasted like that. It was just plain as can be. It was just meat and cheese and patty. Coming from Louisiana, dude, put a little Tony's on that bitch. Put something on that bitch. You know what I mean? I still ate it. I'm very grateful that they provided the food. But, I'm also an opinionated person, and I will say that the food was shit. Even though I brought back fucking six burgers. Anyway, eventually what I'm going to do with all this running stuff, and let me know if y'all can help me with this, I'm going to start a nonprofit organization, or I'm going to start running for let's say like breast cancer. So my mom does a race for the cure, an unregulated race for the cure every year to remember all the people's lives that have been lost due to breast cancer, and all of those donations that people put towards that pay my mom, that goes straight to the breast cancer. I forgot which society that she sends it to, but it goes to a charity, and that's what I want to do, or I want to help her make that nonprofit so I can run and we can, like, invest in getting medals for people for finishing the race or whatever. And then all of that money that people are spending for the medals will go straight to the charity, blah, 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 blah. I want to start doing all that. So if anybody knows how to do that nonprofit shit, let me know. My ear is all yours. So we're going to let the Dag Attack Magabag Sack lead us out. Sun-Soaked Tides on SoundCloud. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. This is Broke, a.k.a. Chris, a.k.a. Broke. Episode 136. We are signing off as of now.